Welcome to the Quantum Healing for Professionals program. This first lesson addresses the question of why quantum healing? I mean, after all the knowledge and trainings you've already been through, why should this be worth you putting your time into? Well, to help answer that question, ask yourself this. How much do you really want to transform your consciousness from that of a muggle into a true magician? And how motivated are you to bring a higher healing mastery to your healing or coaching work? Now, if your answer to those questions is, I want those things a lot, and these possibilities excite you, you're in the right place. I personally practiced acupuncture and Chinese medicine for over 25 years. Early on, I learned about the ancient Taoist roots of acupuncture that were based in a vision of the oneness of heaven, earth, and human beings. These included patterns of correspondences and interrelationships between all things in the universe. When I read all that stuff, I sensed that the ancient Tao masters who originated this art were coming from a much more expanded state of consciousness than most people today who are teaching and practicing acupuncture. They weren't just theorizing about oneness, yin-yang, and how all things are interconnected. They were directly experiencing these realities through their own awakened higher sense perception. Now, what those ancient masters wrote about is what we're now calling the quantum world. It's the realm of unlimited possibilities and the holographic interconnectedness of all things. Now, in recent times, quantum physics has been validating these same truths. This is the realm where miracle cures, spontaneous remissions, and beautiful heart-opening shifts in consciousness arise from. I know, because I witness these experiences frequently with my clients and the groups I work with. Now, there are specific methods of quantum catalyst healing that I've learned or developed, and some of the best ones are shared in this course. Yet the bigger part of quantum healing is learning to work with yourself and your clients from a multi-dimensional state of consciousness. This awareness gradually opens up your higher sense perception or intuition. Higher sense perception is not an altered state that only a few special psychic people have, however. These gifts open up when you're in a natural, unaltered state, truly being yourself without old, heavy conditioning. So as a quantum healer, you can continue to perform the medical or healing methods that you're already doing. You'll be able to elevate the results of those methods by tapping into the quantum state of consciousness while you're doing them. Now, this is not weird, it's not trippy, it's actually the most natural and grounded way to be. Now, being in this state, healing from this place, does require some inner clearing of your old limiting conditioning, so you can be in that natural state that could be called the Tao or the quantum field. That's why each person wishing to be a quantum healer must go through a profound process of self-healing and clearing themselves and commit to their meditation practice. As I understand it, there are three main levels of healing that we can interface with clients on. These would be the physical level, the energetic level, and the quantum level. So that we all know about the physical level. It focuses on the physical body and its biochemistry, and it's the realm of Western medicine and actually most of what holistic practitioners work with as well. Now, for example, most of the documented effects of acupuncture are based on stimulating points on the body which trigger a cascade of physiological and neurochemical responses. Chiropractors and body workers primarily adjust the structures and functions of the physical body. Now, highly skilled holistic practitioners who have been raising their consciousness don't focus exclusively on the body, however. Many of them also evaluate and help balance the energetic fields and flows that support the body, therefore working with the second level of healing. But now, whenever your clients have profound, seemingly miraculous healing responses, they are tapping in that moment into the quantum or spirit level. Now, some healers and shamans and people in those realms have worked on themselves to the point where they can access that level more intentionally and consistently. What I've developed are treatment plans that do integrate all three of those levels, physical, energetic, and quantum, with my patients, and it has produced some really exciting results. Okay, here's one example. There's one woman who came to my office And she was complaining about ankle pain. That was her main issue. She said she had been to all these doctors and specialists, and they had worked on her, and it wasn't helping at all. So as a result, she couldn't really walk well. She had gained a lot of weight. When I questioned her, I found out she also had had some seizures the year before, and since then it felt kind of like her mind wasn't working properly. She didn't have a good sense of balance. Walking was difficult for her, and just kind of felt tired all the time. So I worked with her to balance her chakras using some of the things you'll learn in this course, adjusted what's called her assemblage point, which is alignment of the physical body with the energetic field, and a few other things like this. And after we got finished with this first session, I said, why don't you take a walk in the hallway and see how you're doing now? So she did that and came back and said, my ankle isn't hurting anymore. I can barely feel it. This is the first time in 6 months that my ankle hasn't been hurting. I said, well, what about anything else? She said, yeah, my head feels clearer. And God, I actually feel a little more energy. I haven't felt this in a long time. So anyway, because her ankle felt better, she was able to go home and start walking, and I gave her some meditation exercises to do. And pretty soon she was walking something like, I think, 4 or 5 miles a day. She lost some weight. She felt better. Her head was clearer and really had a much better outcome. In that treatment, I did use all 3 levels because I used energy to help balance her chakras and to apply some healing currents to her. And then I also worked with the quantum level through adjusting her chakras and holding the quantum field and speaking to her in a way that she could see things in a new way. And the physical level was very simple. It was just simply having her do some exercises. The interesting thing is I never even did anything to her ankle. I didn't even touch her ankle. Didn't do any direct treatment on that area. That great improvement happened through adjusting those other levels. Another thing is one of my friends actually contacted me and said that she was going through severe shoulder pain and that it was some major damage to the rotator cuff, and her doctor was saying she needed to get surgery. And this woman was like 79, very health conscious, and she didn't want to have surgery. So I offered her just a brief quantum healing session over the phone where there was no physical treatment whatsoever. And we spent about 15 minutes, and a lot of it was actually I used my intuitive channels to reflect to her some attitudes that she had about life, like that she was shouldering too much responsibility and some things that she hadn't really thought about. And she immediately said her shoulder was feeling better. And when we checked back a few days later, it was lasting. I mean, basically 80 or 90% of that shoulder pain never came back after that 15-minute pure quantum healing treatment. Now, if she had been in my office, I could have also used things like microcurrent or acupuncture or so on, but in this case, it was all purely on that level. Now, in clinical practice, you'll get some patients with very difficult to treat issues. You know what we mean by that? These are the people who have already tried so many other kinds of doctors. They've been to chiropractors. They've tried several acupuncturists. They've usually gone to other kinds of people to do hands-on healing. Maybe they've done some psychological healing stuff, whatever it is. These people just keep searching for something because it's on a level that none of those people are able to touch. Now, when you're coming from a set of techniques and principles that you've learned, it could be hit or miss treating those kind of challenging clients, often with a lot of misses. That's because you're trying to fit what they're going through into the box of the system that you were trained to use, and it may not always fit. So you see, quantum healing takes you to the control panel, the deeper root of why they have these issues. And you could quickly determine what those hidden root causes are by using the chakra testing and dowsing methods taught in the next lessons. So are you ready to rock in the quantum zone? I invite you to step up and recognize the master healer within you, because you have all these capabilities, guaranteed. A lot of it is removing the barriers, which we call it conditioning. It's ways you've been trained to think, attitudes, some of the group consciousness that we grow up in create blockages to these abilities. So in summary, a good answer to the question of why quantum healing would be this: mastering this system will empower you to produce higher level, more transformational results for your clients than you've been able to in the past. And also you'll be able to personally benefit because stepping into being a quantum healer opens profound healing channels in yourself, while awakening your higher qualities of consciousness and heart.